So while everyone's been talking about chatbots, Google's been quietly building something way, way bigger. And with every new tool they drop, the same question pops up everywhere. Is AI coming for my job? Well, in this explainer, we're going to go inside Google Labs to get a real look at their vision for the future. And, it might be a lot different than what you're thinking.
Okay, so here's the plan. First, we're going to tackle that big question head on, threat or tool. Then we'll dive into this really interesting new idea called the co-creator mindset. After that, I'm going to show you some of the absolutely mind-blowing tools they're building right now. We'll also see how AI is shifting into your own personal assistant. And finally, we'll talk about the one skill you're going to need to really thrive in this new world.
All right, let's get right into it. Let's start with the one conversation that just seems to be everywhere, the one that's kind of keeping people up at night. This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Every time a new AI demo comes out, you hear the whispers. Well, there go the marketing jobs, or musicians are done for, or even engineers are going to be obsolete. There's this genuine fear that we're all just a few updates away from being replaced. But is that really the whole story? Well, according to Josh Woodward, who's heading up both the Gemini and Google Labs teams, there's a totally different way to look at this. He's really pushing for us to shift our thinking away from a mindset of replacement and into what he calls a co-creator mindset. So what on earth does that actually mean? Woodward's whole philosophy is actually refreshingly simple. He basically says, we've been asking the wrong question. This isn't about humans versus machines. It's much simpler. They're just tools. I mean, yeah, they're incredibly powerful tools, but at the end of the day, they're designed for people to use, to make our own skills even better, not to just get rid of us. And this isn't just some nice idea they talk about. It's actually baked into how they build this stuff. They are literally working with marketing directors, with authors, with filmmakers to build these tools. And what that does is create this amazing feedback loop. The pros get better tools so they can do more, and at the same time, the barrier for everyone else just plummets, unleashing this whole new wave of creativity.
So if you take one thing away from this philosophy, what should it be? Woodward's best piece of advice is almost shockingly simple. Just play. Seriously, get your hands on these tools. Experiment. Push them until they break. See what they're good at. See what they're bad at. That sense of playful curiosity, that's the real key to figuring out this new frontier.
Okay, so that's the big idea. But what does it actually look like? Let's take a quick tour inside Google Labs and see the exact tools that are making this co-creator thing a reality. First up, a tool called Pomelo. So imagine you run a small business. All you do is paste your website's address into it. The AI instantly sucks in your brand's DNA, all your colors, your fonts, your images. Then, with just one click, bam, a whole week's worth of marketing stuff is just there. It even has this photo shoot feature for making incredible product shots. See, this isn't replacing a marketing team. It's giving a small shop the superpowers of a huge marketing department they could never, ever afford. Next, there's a tool called Stitch, and this is where things get really wild. You can literally just describe a website or an app you're thinking of. The AI gives you this design canvas to play around with. But then, you just right-click, and it generates a fully clickable prototype right there. Oh, and you need the code for it? Just right-click again and grab it. This completely blurs the lines between a product manager, a designer, and an engineer. Anyone can bring an idea to life now.
But what about dealing with information that already exists? Like, a lot of it. Let's say, for example, 66 different source documents. That is where a tool called Notebook LM comes in. You can feed it all 66 of those sources, and the AI becomes your personal assistant director. It'll write a script for you, figure out a visual style, and then produce a whole cinematic video explaining the topic. And get this is the really next level part. It will even write the code to create animated interactive charts and just drop them right into the video. It's insane. And then there's Genie. Now, this is still very much an experiment, but wow, it shows you where this is all going. You give it one prompt, or even just a picture, and it generates a completely playable, interactive 3D world. The craziest part? Every single frame, every pixel you see is being generated on the fly. It's not a pre-rendered map. The world is literally being born as you move through it. So these creative tools are amazing, right? But the vision here is so much bigger than just professional work. It's really about how AI becomes this deeply personal partner in your everyday life. Check out this real-world example. Woodward needed new prescription goggles for swimming, so he asks Gemini, and at first, it just gives him some shopping results. Okay, that's helpful. But then it does something else. It says, oh, by the way,
I found your prescription from an old email and a photo you took back in 2021. It even knows the glasses he's wearing right now. That's how AI saves you time, not just by answering, but by being proactive. It's a total game changer.
So you've got tools that can create entire worlds and assistants that know your eyeglass prescription. What does it actually take for us to thrive in a future like that? What's the skill that matters more than anything else?
Well, this really shows the fundamental shift that's happening. Think about it. When an AI can generate 90% of the code you need, the hard part isn't writing the code anymore. The new bottleneck, the new human job, is reviewing it. Our role is shifting from being the creator to being the orchestrator, from the doer to the decider. Your job becomes managing and curating everything these AIs produce.
So, what's the single most important skill you can have in this new world? It's not about being a better coder or getting better at writing prompts. According to Woodward, the number one skill is just the ability to reinvent yourself. It's about letting go of your identity being tied to one specific task and instead just embracing the process of adapting and changing right along with these tools.
So, at the end of the day, these tools aren't really coming to replace you. They're coming to partner with you, to give you superpowers you never had before, and to completely shift what you focus your energy on. So the real question isn't whether AI is coming for your job. It's this: the AI future is already here. How are you going to reinvent yourself?